The Maldives is an island nation of roughly 1,190 coralline islands spread across the Indian Ocean. Land is one of the scarcest resources in the Maldives, comprising of just 1% of the nation's territory. The islands of the archipelago are tiny, where 96% of the islands are less than 1 square kilometer in area. The small size of the islands forces its entire population of around 350,000 people to live next to the sea. Housing, as well as all critical infrastructure such as powerhouses, health facilities, schools, airports, harbors, telecommunications facilities and waste disposal sites are within 100 meters of coastline. Over 80% of the total land area of the Maldives is less than 1 meter above mean sea level. Given the close proximity of the settlements to the sea combined with low elevation, the Maldives is one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change. With the predicted rise in sea level and increased frequency and intensity of extreme weather, people's homes and the critical infrastructure such as airports, harbors, coastal protection structures, tourist facilities, hospitals, schools and utilities are at high risk. If appropriate adaptation measures are not taken, frequent inundations could virtually obliterate homes and the critical infrastructure, damaging the economy, threatening safety and security of the people. The reef ecosystem of Maldives has been recognized as the 7th largest in the world, with diversity amongst the richest. The two major economic activities, tourism and fisheries, are reef-based and provide more than 80% of the total revenues to the country. Climate change influences the viability and profitability of both these sectors, directly and indirectly. Fish, particularly tuna, is the primary source of dietary protein for the Maldivians, and tuna is served daily in every meal. Coral reefs also play a crucial role in protecting natural sea defense, acting to buffer beaches from wave action and other oceanic forces. Climate change will increase bleaching events, and coupled with reduced calcification will most likely affect coral growth and healthy survival of reefs. Despite the coral reef's coastal protection function, being a developing country, there have been a number of human stresses on the reef system, such as dredging, reclamation, and unsustainable waste management practices that has affected the health, integrity, and productivity of reefs. The islands of the Maldives have a precarious hydrological system, a shallow aquifer that depends on rainfall for recharge. During storm surges and wave-induced flooding events, this freshwater lens gets salinized. Salinization of groundwater affects the quality of life in the islands as people depend on groundwater for washing, bathing, and other non-potable uses. Saltwater intrusion also affects soil and vegetation, causing impacts on agriculture and terrestrial ecosystems. Though agriculture is vital for ensuring food security, the agriculture sector has been significantly constrained by the limited availability of cultivable land and poor quality of soil. The Maldives imports almost all food items except fresh tuna and coconut. The high reliance on imports, limited food storage facilities and ad hoc distribution, higher frequency of extreme weather events associated with climate change is of great concern. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns have also been causing higher incidence of vector-borne diseases. There is evidence that dengue outbreaks are becoming more frequent. The islands are also vulnerable to storms and cyclones that can adversely affect water supplies. At present, 18% of inhabited islands experience rainfall and/or ocean-induced flooding at least once a year. With the projected increase in sea level and higher frequency of extreme events, incidence of flooding is likely to be more frequent and severe. Rainwater is the main source of drinking water in the atolls. Drinking water shortages during the dry period of northeast monsoon is a significant challenge for the atoll population even at present. So far this year, over 100 islands have requested for water supply due to water shortage. Ensuring water security is thus one of the critical concerns. In spite of its challenges for sustainable development, including the extreme vulnerability to climate change, Maldives has successfully achieved a number of Millennium Development Goals, particularly eradicating extreme poverty, achieving universal primary education, and reduced maternal and infant mortality. Maldives is now a middle-income country with a high Human Development Index and continues to strive for sustainable development. The Integrated Water Resource Management Project implemented as a pilot project in Ra Atoll Duwafaru is one of its exemplary projects of sustainable development through addressing climate change. Though in its initial phase, the project has already shown remarkable results by providing the Duwafaru community access to reliable and affordable portable and non-portable water.
The main advantage of this integrated water supply system is that it will reduce 33% of the cost, total cost. And also with the solar power generation of 50 kilowatt, we will be able to save 30 tons of carbon dioxide emission, which is very important for sustainable development of small island communities such as Duwafaru and addressing climate change.
Riga warang undag dek hame hengege gos pengen namis jihen algon mage walu waras sakara deng hengege gos pengen namis sar bodu undag golakan man den hade sabda pende war pase
ade mi kama gulay gotu gafu taragiyan oi kuriru maki algon teren gina bayaka wazifa kusat leuma den deme hetten gotu ga mi masu genda thi ekama oi hingamuju am yagirum bes Duwafaru hama barbol kuriru take mikau sabu atuji awon upakura rahme haysiyatu mifada kame mi hisaba ngas kan kame to riviti awon marda ke halugo ulepa mifada ngas mi kuriya wasiti awon minna gaim kurma awdima ke upa awon hama mi kamsil kodde me upa hasil kurana.
The substantive realization of sustainable development in a SIDS country is a significant challenge. Environmental fragility compounded with potential impacts from climate change presents clear and looming dangers for our sustainable development. Although we may never overcome our inherent structural vulnerabilities, in spite of this, we have as a country achieved significant successes. The Maldives has one of the highest human development in the South Asia region, and our tourism sector has been a successful driver of the economy, to name a few. Building successful partnerships have been pivotal in this success. These partnerships need to be continued, need to be enhanced and deepened.
Despite its many development challenges and extreme vulnerability to climate change, Maldives is determined to continue in its path to sustainable development and play a pivotal role in addressing climate change.